This episode of the Accounting Insiders podcast is brought to you in part by Xero. Xero is a powerful cloud accounting software that improves efficiencies across your practice. With all client data stored on a single unified ledger, you and your clients can easily access and collaborate on the same set of books. Xero's advisor tools and automation solutions reduce time-consuming manual tasks and put data entry on autopilot. Work faster and more efficiently than ever before with Xero. Visit xero.com/accounting insiders to learn more. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Accounting Insiders podcast. My name is Gary Dehart. I am the host of the Accounting Insiders podcast and the publisher of Insightful Accountant. And today is April the 15th. Who in their right mind would record a podcast on April the 15th? It's supposed to be a tax deadline or something like that, right? For the accounting types, of which I am not one, and I don't think my guest Eli Danziger is an accountant type either. We just both happen to work
I
in the
am not.
accounting. We both work in the accounting space. So, so my guest is Eli Danziger. Eli is the Senior VP of Product Management for Xero. So, Eli, welcome. Thanks for taking a few minutes on tax day here to have a conversation.
Thanks so much, Gary. I do have some extension payments that I have to file, so I'll be getting to those right after this.
I have two envelopes right here that our wonderful government gets to do with what they will. And as we've seen, I don't want to get political, but as we've seen with what Doge is up to, right? Hopefully they'll put it to good use. Um, but
I'm sure.
really, actually, the more scary part, and this really is right in our wheelhouse, right? Is the I've got four pieces of mail here from the IRS saying, "Hey, we have this request from you to review something like a 941 or something from 8 months ago." The accountant sent it in. And so they sent in duplicate. Like every time I get something from the IRS, it comes in duplicate. And they've sent two different letters twice saying, we still can't get to this yet. And and then you hear that they're getting rid of 10,000 more people or whatever the number is. It's like, oh my gosh, they're never going to catch up. But not here to talk about that, are we? We'll never solve
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So,
They have
all
they
right,
have a big hill to climb.
huge hill to climb, and it's yeah. And for everybody's sake, I hope they can figure it out. And and the answer solution is technology, which is your world, a lot of your background in your world, right? And you've seen what technology can do to improve lots of things. So before we dive deep into Xero and what we're really mainly talking about, one of the key things is the recent announcement of the Reconcile Period rollout. So we're going to have a demo of that kind of towards the end of this discussion. But let's get into a little bit of your background, how you ended up, because you've been on the finance side, it looks like, or in tech. So you've been in a few different worlds. So let's just kind of walk us through your background that got you to where you are.
Yeah, that sounds great. And I just want to say thank you again so much for having me on the show. It's really a great honor, and I'm excited to talk more about the new Reconcile Period feature than myself, but I will cover some of my background as well.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned, I'm an SVP of product here at Xero. I look after North America and core accounting for us. And I've been here for about 18 months, and it's been a great ride. I've really enjoyed working with the team here. And it's been a really exciting space as well. And we'll talk about some of the new products that we've launched recently. But just to answer your question about my journey and what brought me to Xero, so I've been in product management or worked as a founder for more than 15 years. And prior to Xero, I spent a brief 12-year stint at Google and worked on a whole bunch of different products, ads, hardware, maps, and YouTube twice.
Okay.
So it was a lot of fun. Got to work on some of the most beloved products in the world. I use Maps. I use YouTube every day. I see ads every day. So it really had the opportunity to have an impact on many users' lives, and I would say got a chance to learn the craft of product management from some of the best in the world.
And
Um,
was your
yeah.
so your background though is IT or like software engineering or Is that kind of your school training?
Yeah, yeah. So in
Okay,
school, I studied engineering,
okay,
and yeah, and went into finance when I graduated to learn how business worked as well. So I've been an
okay.
engineer at heart for my whole life,
Yeah,
and working in investment banking and investing was an opportunity to see how businesses ran in the real world.
sure. And that and so 12 years at Google, and you saw a lot, right, in that time period because things change so rapidly in tech, right? So there's a big gap, and it's funny you're talking about how you see these things that you worked on, back in the day, and you get this. So you have an intimate relationship and knowledge of how these things function. When I was in college, I worked for a company that did credit scoring, where they actually built the
Oh,
models
cool.
they built the models for credit scoring. And so this was in 89, 1988, 89. So, it had this massive room, this big, humongous computer in it. But, it's all about credit scoring. And now, I mean, it is a part of everybody's lives. And I was there in the early days of credit scoring. Who knew?
That's
So,
really cool.
yeah. And so you went product management and out of all of those, which roles that you were in the companies did where you're like, wow, this is how I know I'm in the right spot. I mean, are there any of them that you're like, whoa, this is home?
Yeah, it's a great question. I really felt that way on YouTube ads, I would say, is that was my first I think real product management role,
Yeah.
where I had a space that I looked after. I had a team that I worked really closely with, and uh, I was part of the growth of one of the largest and most beloved platforms of of our time. And so uh, in particular, I think working on app install ads at YouTube
Okay.
was the place where I really felt like I hit my stride as a product manager. We built a product that was helping app developers get distribution and share their apps with the world. And it turned out that users on YouTube were quite interested in learning about finding, downloading apps from ads on YouTube as well.
Mm,
Gaming, there's great fit over there. And, for example, travel, shopping, right? So there's actually quite good alignment between the content that people were watching and the ads that we were showing.
yeah.
And that turned into quite a large business for Google, and we were able to balance the needs of our advertisers, our viewers, and then of course share revenue with YouTube creators as well. So it was really able to uh, create quite a virtuous cycle and contribute to the overall platform growth as well.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So where are you physically? Where do you reside?
I live in the Bay Area, so
Okay.
just north of San Francisco, in Marin County.
Okay. Does Xero still have a footprint in the Bay Area, or did everything get shifted over to Denver?
We do. We have an office in San Mateo,
Okay.
and our CEO Sukhinder, our Chief Product Officer Dia, work out of there. So it's a great office as well. Denver is the U.S. Headquarters,
Yeah.
but we do have quite a few people that are in San Mateo.
Okay. And then do you have to go into the office or you just stay in Marin County?
I would. Marin is a great place to be, but I also really do enjoy going to the office.
Yeah,
There's really no substitute for working in person.
sure. No, I agree. 100%. Although I say that, it's funny. And we're all remote, everybody's remote. And I've worked from home for probably 16 years now. So, but I would love to be in an office as long as it wasn't too far. I just don't want the commute.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the
So,
balance you have to strike.
all right. So before we get into product, because a lot of people, our audience primarily is, accounting professionals. They're using Xero, they're using QuickBooks, they're using Sage. It might be ERP level, just a variety, right? Or some of them may be be just working in, in taxes because we just have a broad, accounting footprint. Uh, so they have, accounting backgrounds, they have tax backgrounds, they have, it might be EAs, but they don't necessarily have a product background, right? So pull the curtain just a little bit on the day in the life, let's say, of a product manager at a tech company. Because I imagine bunch of people sitting there in a war room going, and you being the product, the head of the product going, I have to have this. And you've got 18 people saying, well, you can't have that because you have to have this first and that. What does that look like? Like kind of how do you get to, and again, this is all setting up to getting to, reconcile period rollout. How
Yeah.
does, what's that war room look like? Because I mean, there's a lot of people who have a lot of needs that they want, right?
Yeah. It's a great question. I'll answer that from the perspective of someone who does the work. I've largely stepped back from the day to day, so
Yeah.
I'll answer from the people that are doing the more exciting part of product management these
Yeah.
days. So really, it starts off with talking to our users and understanding what they need to do their jobs better, to make their lives easier, and to help them achieve their goals. And our users are a lot of the same folks that I think tune into this podcast. And so we really do try to spend time with our users and understand how we can help them better. And fortunately for us, our users tend to have pretty strong opinions about how we can
Yeah.
do that. And by going off and talking to a whole bunch of them, you get a pretty good understanding
Mm.
of what's going to move the needle. And so that's really where a day in the life of a product manager starts, is just trying to understand how people are using the product that we provide. From there, once you understand where the gaps are, where the pain points are, you come up with a plan and you try to figure out how to fix those. And we get to work with super talented engineering counterparts, with design counterparts, with marketing counterparts, and figure out how to solve these problems that our customers express, and do so in a way that's going to help as many of them as possible. Now, we can't always do everything that we want. We do live in a world of constraints.
Sure.
So there's some prioritization that has to happen, and there's quite a bit of problem solving that has to happen. But that's a lot of where the day in a life comes in,
Mhm.
is just talking to users, understanding their pain points, and then working with a pretty cross-functional team to figure out how best to solve those and how to get that out into our users' hands as quickly as possible.
Yeah. And do you find that the decision to go, yes, we're doing this first, this second, this third, does that end up being a balance between what's easiest to do, or I don't want to say easy because it's none of it's easy, but what has the least amount of drag, I guess, or can go to market the fastest and serve the biggest number of users? Is that kind of two of the key factors?
Yeah, I think so. There's always, benefit and then the cost of doing
Yeah,
something, right? Time to go build, or complexity of a build. What in a perfect world, you want to do something that's really easy and is going to have a huge impact, and just do as many of those as you can. What what I've seen in practice is that the easy launches take as much or a similar amount of effort as the hard ones. So you might as well just prioritize the things that are going to have the biggest impact.
yeah,
It's not perfect, but that's one of the that's one of the learnings that I've had of from doing this for a few years.
yeah. So you go in thinking, oh, this will take, 10 minutes. It takes 10 days.
Exactly.
And you're like, well, that's going to take 2 days. Oh, no, it took 10 days too. So,
Yeah.
okay. So where are the resources, like the development resources? Are they kind of spread around the globe?
Yeah, we're a global team, so we have many of our developers in New Zealand, where the company was founded and is headquartered. We have many in Australia. We also have some in the US and in Toronto as well. So it's a pretty global workforce.
Yeah, so you can have people working 12 16 hours a day, right? On not straight, not, saying so, at any given time, there's people
I would
working
say
on
the
product, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
I would say the company is generally working on product
yes, there we go. Yeah, not
24
individuals.
hours a day. Hopefully not individuals though.
We're gonna get like a call from OSHA or the Health and Human Services or something. So, all right. So over the past, when we were kind of in the green room, we kind of looked back about 6 months product wise and what's been kicked off, what's been launched, or what's in beta. And we came up with, and we'll probably miss something. Hopefully somebody will send us a note and say, hey, you missed this. But bank feeds, uh, sales tax, inventory, ACH payments, bill pay, and I think you said that Invoice Template Editor is in beta,
Yeah.
and then we were going to kick into the Reconcile Period rollout. For those of us who are not accounting professionals, what is that, and what why does it matter?
Yeah. So thank you. That was a great overview of just some of the features that we've launched over the last 6 months. I'm really, really proud and excited about the momentum that we've had on our US and Canada product releases. So yeah, that was just a few, and we're excited for a lot more. But just to dig into Reconcile Period specifically, so this I think is uh, our biggest launch of the year for our US and North American customers in general. And this, again, came from listening to our customers' feedback. And what they shared was how important it was for businesses to periodically verify the accuracy of their accounting records, particularly in support of their month-end close process. And Reconcile Period is a new feature in Xero that lets you compare a bank statement source of truth to your accounting file in Xero and quickly spot errors and see where there are differences, and then lock off those transactions and create a report of this closeout process so that you have an artifact of your reconciliation process. So it's something that really helps you to verify the accuracy of your accounting records.
Mhm.
And it's something that our customers have been really excited about and have been asking for quite some time.
And was that more driven like when you say customers, I know there's kind of two customers, right? There's the end user, SMB, we'll call them, then the accounting professional while they're still users, but kind of they have two different wants, I would imagine, from the product. And I say that as a small business,
Mhm.
owner, my my concerns with the software are much different than my CPA's concerns with the software, right? And so that feedback about the reconcile period, was that more from the accounting professional side?
Well, so I would say it was a little bit of both,
Yeah.
uh, because verifying the accuracy of your accounting file is something that everybody needs to do. And the thing that I love about the Reconcile Period feature is that it's totally optional. So if you love the way that you're using bank reconciliation within Xero today, and you're going in every day and you're categorizing and matching your transactions to your accounting records, and you've got a high quality bank feed, you don't need to change anything about your process. So you get all of your real time insights and nothing really needs to change. But if you want to make sure that you've got that month end oversight of your entire accounting file, and you can check and verify and make sure that everything looks good and the accounting is correct, you've now got this new process that you can go through with Reconcile Period that'll allow you to very specifically go through all of your transactions and make sure everything ties back to a source of truth. So really, it was both. We do hear a lot of excitement from our accounting community, though.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, you've got a demo for us, so let's pull that up and run through it, and I'll see what I can learn here.
Okay, great. Let me just get that started. We use Google Meet, so I am going to try to do try to
All
do this
right.
from Zoom.
We'll see what happens.
Did I get that correctly?
Well, you've got me on there. Hey, me.
Oh boy.
Uh,
Okay, let me try this one more time. Oh, there we go. All right. Sorry about that. I was sharing an entire screen and not a Chrome tab.
well, see, your 12 years at Google just paid off.
Okay. I don't know if we have audio. So Gary, let me pause this one more time and I'll
Okay,
try and do
sure.
that once more. Sorry
Yep.
about that.
No, no worries.
Tech tech issues.
Yeah, I can even
Oh,
let me just do this. I can even pause recording. Here we go. All right, after a momentary pause, we are ready to go. So here we go. Let's see this demo on Reconcile Period rollout here.
great. Thanks, Gary, for bearing with me on that. Here we go.
Absolutely.
Reconcile Period is a new workflow from Xero that allows customers to confirm their Xero transactions are complete and correct by comparing them to a bank statement. From any bank account within Xero, you can navigate to the new Reconcile Period workflow. Here, you'll see a list of your previous periods and be able to start reconciling a new period. Simply add the date range of your bank statement and the opening and closing balance to create a Xero period. Here, you'll see all of the Xero transactions from within the date range of your statement selected for you. You'll also see a comparison between your statement balance and the balance in Xero. This helps you identify whether or not you have the right set of Xero transactions in the period. If there's a difference, you can search for transactions to include or exclude from your Xero period to resolve the difference. Once the difference between the Xero balance and your statement balance is zero, you know that you have the right set of transactions within your period. You can now review the Xero transactions within the period to check they are coded correctly. Once you're happy, you can close the period to confirm the set of Xero transactions within the period complete and correct. Once you've closed the period, you have the ability to generate a report. Transactions in a closed period are protected. If anyone tries to delete them, they'll see a message telling them that these transactions are in a closed period. This has been a quick walkthrough of Reconcile Period by Xero.
And the crowd goes wild. Yay, right.
And the crowd goes wild. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. And so again, that made it onto the list of to-dos from out talking to people, talking to users, talking to accounting professionals, whether at XeroCon or your road shows or just teams going out on the street, right? And you have people, because I know here in Atlanta, I'm in the Atlanta area. You guys have an office here, or I think it's like a physical office, right? That's here. And
I think so. I think we have a
yeah,
sales office there. Yeah,
yeah. And they're out, I mean, daily, right? Talking to customers.
that's right. Yeah, we as we're doing product design, product development, it's super important to make sure that we're talking to customers and understanding what they need so that we can build the right things for them.
Okay. And can we touch before we wrap it up, just the invoice template editor? Can you share just a little bit about that? Kind of getting you, um, didn't prepare you for that, but you're the product manager. I bet you got it.
Well, this one was worked on by our payments team, and
Okay.
they did really a great job. There's been uh, a ton of momentum on payments in the US. So as you touched on earlier, we rolled out Bill Pay with Bill.com. We rolled out ACH payments for invoices, and we just launched, as you said, a new template editor for invoices as well, and that's out to our customers in beta right now. And so just to take a step back, invoicing is one of the most important and earliest jobs that small businesses do, needing to request and collect money from your end customers is
Yeah.
critical, and making sure the cash comes in. I don't need to tell anybody the details there. And so we built a new invoice template editor, which is new. It's streamlined. It's a much more beautiful and intuitive user interface, and gives you more modern designs
Hmm.
for your invoices that give you a full range of ways to customize those for your end users. So really just a faster, more streamlined, more customizable, and more intuitive interface for sending out invoices to your end customers. It's something that we're really excited about, and really is quite a big step forward in that overall process.
Sure. And then, so when you say it's in beta, I know what I think. I'm not an IT developer, but um, when you put something in beta, is it the product as it is currently? And is it available to the masses? Is it available to, we put 10% of the people on it and get feedback? What does that look like typically?
Yeah, typically it is a smaller subset of your user base, and you do that to target a certain set of users, to get feedback from folks that may not need the full set of functionality before it's ready.
Hmm.
Really, just think of it as a test to make sure that we got the product right, and there's nothing that was missed in development, because you when you go and build a product, you define it as best as you can, you build it as best as you can, and usually things work as expected. But
Right.
it's very often helpful to just have real users take a look at it, and try it out in ways that you maybe wouldn't expect when you do your internal testing.
Right. Then are they, hey, this is our beta group, or are they randomly selected? Can somebody say, hey, I want to be on your beta team anytime you have a product launch, I want to see it first. Do you have that?
It depends,
Yeah.
but yes, we do have folks that we do early testing with more regularly, and then we
Okay.
also have some features that go out as percent rollouts.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, I think we covered most everything. I don't know if there's anything else you want to wrap up with, that we haven't discussed.
No, I think we covered a lot of ground, and I really appreciate you having me on the show to talk about some of the great work that the teams have been doing here at Xero.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do people reach you? And what's the best place for them to go if they want to learn a little bit more about Xero?
Best place to reach me is probably on LinkedIn. I'm pretty responsive on that. And to learn more about Xero, check out Xero.com. That's Xero with an X, Xero.com. And you can learn all about our full set of products there.
Perfect. All right. Well, Eli, thank you so much. Happy tax day. And go send the government some of your money.
Great. Thank you, Gary. You as well.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.